What's up and good morning, guys? Welcome back to another video. I'm sitting here in the OBS and, well, I got some big news for you guys. I didn't think I'd see this day coming. It's only been about 6 months in the making, but boom! We've got a passenger side mirror on the truck now. Just look at that beauty. Look at her. Just look at her. It's amazing. Now, that being said, obviously my plan for this truck, like I had told you guys, was to eventually do the Duramax mirror swap on this truck. And a lot of you guys are saying, like, why would you ever do that? They actually don't look horrible on these trucks. The reason they make the adapter plates for them is because, well, a lot of people do it because it looks decent. Now, to me, the actual newer Power Stroke mirrors are just too big for these trucks. I know the Duramax mirrors aren't that much smaller. They're probably the same size, but for some reason, they just look obnoxiously big. But I'm kind of torn because I really don't hate that mirror right there. You can see it on that F350 over there. The little mirrors that they put on these trucks actually do look good, and they fit the body better than these giant elephant ears over here. But I just worry that they're too small if I'm ever towing with this thing, that, like, you know, they're gonna be essentially useless. So I don't know, guys. I'm kind of torn on what mirror setup I really should go with to just make the truck overall look good but still be functional. So I've had my truck here, my 97 OBS with a 7.3 Power Stroke, lifted for about a week now, and I told you guys I would report back to you on kind of, you know, my findings on now that I have it lifted, what I like, what I don't like. So let's jump into that. So for those of you that don't watch my videos, the truck it's got a 6-inch lift, which sits at about 5 inches when you put this lift kit on the diesels due to the weight of the engine in the front, on 35-inch by 12.5 Toyo mud terrains. Now, this is a Skyjacker lift kit for two-wheel drive trucks. Yes, this is a two-wheel drive truck. And let's just jump into ride quality. So I'm gonna hit a couple of bumps here. Keep in mind, I was going from 20-plus-year-old worn-out suspension to brand new springs and shocks. So obviously the ride quality is going to be a lot stiffer. But that's not necessarily a bad thing. I actually don't mind how stiff it is. It was nice when everything was worn out and it just like floated like a Cadillac, but it's nice to have some firmness feeling back in the truck suspension. Now, one thing that I didn't really anticipate being impacted as much as it has been, being that, you know, I've owned plenty of diesel trucks and I've always gone from stock tire sizes to 40s and didn't see that big of an impact, is fuel mileage has gone down drastically in this truck. And we're only on 35s. And this truck was never the most fuel efficient thing in the world. It is definitely known to suck its share of diesel, but it really does now. And it might just be that it's a little bit more noticeable because it has two smaller tanks versus one big tank. But I have to say, I've been noticing this thing just drinking diesel like crazy. Now, you know, we obviously don't lift and put bigger wheels and tires on our trucks because we're worried about fuel economy. So it's not the end of the world, but it's just something that I've noticed. Another thing I've noticed that I'm probably going to look into getting fixed is the steering on the truck. Mainly like highway cruising. There's a little bit of a substantial like float in the steering. I don't know exactly the way to describe it, but you'll feel like if you kind of come up over a bump, you'll feel like a little free flow in the steering. Oh my God. That's the Joying head unit, by the way. Now, I've also never owned a lifted beamed truck, so, you know, maybe that just comes with the territory, but I feel like a steering stabilizer or a steering dampener would really help to eliminate any of that issue. And speaking of steering, that leads me to my biggest issue, which is why we're pulling into Preston's right now. And you're about to see it. Well, I'll just show you right now. Let me crank the wheel here. As we start to roll. That's, wait, right there, it'll still roll. That's about as far as we could turn before, oh, we're hitting. Hey, we're gonna make a turn out of their parking lot and it'll give you guys a good, you can hear the tire rubbing. We barely made the turn. So the tire rubs like crazy, and it's to the point where if you're trying to like back into a parking spot and you turn it too far, the truck won't even roll. Oh, and while we're at it, I'm back to, hey, it opened that time. Back to being stuck in a truck that the door doesn't want to open. So it looks like the tires are rubbing in two places, one of which being the radius arm right there, and the other being the sway bar. You can see where it's got some rubbish going on. And one thing I worry about is tearing up the insides of the tires, because these tires aren't cheap. And yes, I understand that a wider offset of tire would obviously eliminate this issue, but one of the things I really wanted with this truck was to keep it classic, keep the wheels tucked into the wheel wells and not go too crazy with it. But unfortunately, it looks like we're gonna have to make some changes to make this work, and it's probably gonna end up taking a little bit away from that look. Ooh, looks like we got a freshly, possibly lifted L5P over here. Looks like we're waiting on a set of wheels and tires. We got a CST lift. It doesn't look very freshly done. Ooh. I like to see some bulletproof suspension boxes going on. Looks like the old crazy dually's back here. Hi Zach, love you Zach. You look busy. Ooh, check out this old Ford. See, this is how the mirrors on my truck, this is how a lot of people tell me I need to have them, and they are meant to be flipped in and out. Obviously in when you're not towing and out when you're towing. But one thing, I just don't think that looks right to me. To me it looks like it was never meant to be that way. It looks like it's got a broken arm backwards. It looks worse than Chevy's new door-mounted mirror idea. So for that reason, I always keep my mirrors out. It's the same with the mirrors on the Rams and the Dodges. I think they look much better flipped up than they do flipped down. But yeah, this is just, you'll never see my mirrors on my truck looking like this. Seems pretty sweet. Nice interior. I like the little suede inserts on the seats. This thing's clean dash, no cracks. Kind of a cool color too. Camper special. You guys imagine having to pull the trim off of this truck? I mean, whew, this is back in the day when trim work was everything on these things. Oh, what are we doing to the Jeep?
538.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay. That's quite the, what size tire are we putting on?
35s.
And go 538s?
He wants to do some crawling.
I guess. All right.
Yep. Rubicon, so he's already got the lockers in it.
Nice. I hope he doesn't plan on highway driving. So if you look over here on Zach's truck, you can see his tires actually stick out. I know he's got wheel adapters in there, which essentially works like a spacer. And if we look on his radius arm, I don't see any rubbing going on there. Zach's also got a steering stabilizer, albeit it looks like it's got some bit of oil on it, so you can't really see it there, but he's got a steering stabilizer set up, installed, which I think is what we need to do on my truck. I need a steering stabilizer on my truck.
Let's do equal length steering, and then you won't have bump steering, you don't need one.
I don't know what that means. Is that expensive?
Yeah, it's very expensive.
I don't want expensive. I need a cheap steering stabilizer. Zach, you got me?
Got it.
All right, perfect.
Trucks want to be cambered out and towed in, and then you put spacers and wide wheels, so that changes, it grows. So your camber gets even more.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? Like that arc length changes.
Right.
So either your truck will sit like it does or a little lower, which probably might not be a good thing. I doubt it. This is like
I hope it doesn't sit lower with the spacers.
This is very theoretic right now.
Okay.
Don't quote me on this. But you know, the longer you go based upon where the coil is, the more leverage you're gonna have.
All right.
So it'll change, it'll exaggerate the engine.
Gotcha. Well,
not usually enough to really cause an issue.
Hey, how about we just put spacers on and see what happens?
We'll do that.
All right.
I'll realign it, we can see if it does what it's doing.
So we went ahead and ordered what so many things wrong. I said I would never do on a truck, and that is we've ordered up some 2-inch spacers for the front of this thing. Now I don't think we're anticipating that's going to completely eliminate this thing ever rubbing, but hopefully it just makes it a lot more usable. I've come from my BBB build being completely useless in the turning department, and I don't want another truck that is like that. So I'm hoping that with the 2-inch spacers on the front of this thing, I'll at least be able to turn enough to where it's useful. And I'm sure all you guys out there are saying, you know, why didn't you just 4x4 it? Why didn't you just solid axle swap it? Maybe where you're at, everybody's just got Dana 60s laying around and you've got a shop down the street that'll do it in 3 days. But out here, it's not really like that. You're talking an expensive endeavor, paying somebody to go source the axle for me because I don't have time. You know, I know you can buy the conversion kits, so we can get those pieces detailed, but there's a lot involved into switching this truck to a solid axle truck and making it 4x. I know everybody says it's super easy, but you know, finding a shop out here that'll do it super quick is also a thing. Like, everybody's so backed up, everybody's so busy, and I don't want to be without a truck for so long. So the reason I just kept it 2-wheel drive and just put a lift kit on it that I found is because, well, it went on pretty quick and I get the truck back. I'm still on the hunt for one of these that is actually 4x from the factory, and at that point, you know, we'll probably do things a little bit differently. But for now, this is my work truck. You know, 6-inch lift sitting at 5 inches is kind of perfect for me. It's not too crazy. So that's kind of the reason I haven't gone and solid axle swapped this truck. But, you know, maybe in the future, if I just really cannot find that 4-wheel drive one that I'm looking for, we'll end up solid axle swapping this one. Now, would I go with this setup again? It's tough to say. The lift kit itself I don't necessarily mind, but probably I would go with a newer style wheel with a bigger offset, and that would hopefully help eliminate some of that rubbing issue. That's really the only main issue I have with the setup is the rubbing. So hopefully we can get that sorted out. All right, well guys, just wanted to give you kind of an update on how the truck's been going so far. Hopefully those spacers end up doing the trick, but we will see. I'll keep you guys updated. Now I know I say it a lot, and it's never really works out that way, but this one has to be a short video. Regardless, as always, thank you guys so much for watching. If you're not subscribed already, please click the subscribe button now, that way you do not miss out on any future content. Don't forget to give this video a like, aka a thumbs up. Don't forget to check out workforitapparel.com, because if there's anything you want in this life, you got to be willing to work for it. Tomorrow, I believe, don't quote me on this, Chris's truck is getting dyno tuned, so stay tuned for that video as well. You guys are the best. I'm out.
Damn. Yeah. Yeah.